Hi, my name is Amanda Barb. Welcome to my channel. I talk about things on faith and mental health, and I do all of this with a biblical perspective. So, we're gonna learn how to be calm. No, we're gonna learn about some things to avoid so that we can stay in a state of calm. In other words, lessen our anxiety. Bible Drill Jill, aka BDJ, will be with us today to provide us visual examples of these different habits that we need to avoid. Yes, great. Let's get started. Number one, overconsumption of media and definitely social media. We know that social media apps are designed to be addictive, pulling us into a world where we can lose track of time and then we feel awful about not getting anything accomplished. And if you're like me and I don't get my responsibilities taken care of in the day, it does cause a lot of anxiety to build up in me. Social media tends to tempt us to fall into a comparison trap. So we need to be careful about that. For others, it produces FOMO, fear of missing out. And FOMO can cause anxiety in individuals if they feel like they're missing out on what their friends are doing and the activities that they're involved in. And overuse of any media, including video games, can interrupt healthy routines that we need in our lives, such as getting good, healthy rest for ourselves and having time for those important relationships. And it's not a secret that what we allow into our minds on a consistent basis impacts who we are, because it impacts the way we think, impacts our perspective, and eventually that will drive the choices that we make in our lives. Number two, consuming too much unhealthy, processed, and sugary foods. I know we don't like to talk about this, but it's true. If you consume these types of unhealthy foods, it does impact your gut in an unhealthy way, as well as impact the brain. And these types of foods worsen anxiety and do damage to our physical bodies. However, specific healthy food can improve the function of our brain, as well as improve our health and increase our good moods. So be mindful of what you eat and how it makes you feel. Bad habit number three, overworking. Not having enough balance in our lives is bad for our health. Overworking, or being a workaholic, causes an overproduction of adrenaline and stress hormones, which only worsen anxiety. Number four, too much caffeine. Why does this make anxiety worse? Well, one, caffeine can produce the same symptoms if you consume a lot of it as that of anxiety. Caffeine increases our alertness and triggers the release of adrenaline. And of course, it can interrupt your sleep cycle, keeping you from falling asleep and staying asleep at night, because we need good sleep to help us stabilize our moods. Quick plug here, if you find that you are enjoying this video, please do like what you watch, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and you have my permission to share it with a friend, and check out my other playlists that I do have for you. And number five, avoiding unnecessary stress. Some stresses, obviously, we cannot avoid, but other stresses we actually bring on ourselves. There are simple tricks that we can learn not to allow these types of stresses to enter our lives. For example, work smarter rather than harder. This is actually something that can help you balance your life better and lessen your anxiety if you are working in a smart way and not overproducing your efforts with work, and not getting pulled into other people's drama if you can help it, or not finding yourself in a mall during Christmas if crowds trigger you to have anxiety. And number six, saying yes to all things and everyone. This can actually be another unnecessary stress that we add to our lives. And that is because if we do not learn our own limits or learn how to set up boundaries for ourselves, we can find ourselves doing way too much and saying yes too often and cause ourselves to build up stress and anxiety within. So we have to learn to be okay with saying the word no. It is wise to decide your boundaries and your limits prior to somebody else asking you to do something for them. That way you can be aware if you're able to meet those needs of other people in a healthy way. If you struggle with saying no, a good rule that you can set for yourself is not to give an answer within 24 hours. As we learn our own limits and learn how to set boundaries, this will actually lessen our anxiety. And number 7, ignoring your own needs. We need to really take care of ourselves really well. And when our needs aren't met, then that can produce anxiety within us. So definitely make time for your favorite hobbies, plan in your calendar moments of self-care, and set up appointments with those friends that fill you up. Definitely make sure you're getting enough rest as much as you can. And here's a bonus tip that's not actually included in the 7, but it will help you. If you're doing research on anxiety symptoms, how to calm down with anxiety, and you do way too much research with it, and you're really hyper-focused in on it, this can actually worsen your symptoms in the moment. So I encourage you to pace yourself when you do research with anything regarding mental health, so you don't focus too much on it. That's my bonus tip. Thanks, BDJ, for your help with this video. No problem. This video surpassed my limits. I should have said no. Oh well.